So one of the biggest things that you're gonna do against this Sand King is you're gonna look to we'll talk about a few things. You're gonna look to aggro constantly because you don't want to get the caustics on you. So first thing is, what does that mean? What does laning against Sand King mean? It means Sand King is just gonna constantly be pushing the lane into your tower. That means you're gonna be standing underneath the tower, you're gonna be tanking the creep wave. And if you're gonna play slightly better, you're not gonna be under the tower, you're gonna be slightly outside the tower range just so that you can get the guaranteed last hits. It's always hard to last another tower. So what that means is you definitely 100% you need to have a poor man shield. Not even a stout shield, a poor man shield. Now you never ever start a game off as a melee hero, as a melee carry, without a stout shield, minimum. So getting a quelling blade is actually bad. You should have had a stout shield here instead of a quelling blade. But because you are up against a Sand King, you should have started off the game with the poor man shield. So right now is really fantastic because the guy doesn't even have caustic. Oh, too early. So it's really important to understand like when do you start? Like literally, it was two right clicks early. Like I thought it would be a little bit earlier, but it was literally two right clicks too early. If you'd actually right clicked him a couple of times, because the guy doesn't have his stun anymore, and even if he did, it's such a small range that he can't get away from you at all. So if you've just been right clicking him right here, just right click. You know, they're standing right there. They're going on your Rubik. You need to be aware of not just the enemy hero's HPs. You need to be aware of your own HP and your allies' HPs as well. So if you'd seen the Rubik's HP, you would have immediately realized that okay, these guys are gonna get greedy here. These guys, what they were being greedy. You can quite clearly see it's not about anticipation. It's about seeing what's happening right there. So they were going for the Rubik. They were right clicking Rubik. What you should have done is you should have right clicked the Sand King several times, like 3 or 4 times, and then started spinning because there's no way these guys are going to run away. It's impossible. So not only that, actually, I think you spun. I think the spin was would have been sufficient if Rubik hadn't dropped him over there as well. So that's like another thing. Second thing is because you are up against not only are you up against the Sand King, but you're also up against a Ricky. Always understand what your lineup is, what your matchup is. Sorry.
Yes.
So Ricky, what is the issue with Ricky? The issue with Ricky is he's gonna put the smoke cloud down, and then you are not only silenced, but you also can't right click. So you need to get the hell out of that smoke cloud immediately.
That's why Facebook.
Yeah, it's good that you switched to phase boots. I was just about to say, you need to switch to phase boots. All right, so Sand King
Yeah.
is back in the lane now. You really need to. You should not get caustic, right? You were gonna go for the deny. You completely forgot that guy has caustics. Right, he's level 2 now. It's even easier with these markups. But you literally look at that. You were full HP. You were almost full HP, and you went from full HP all the way down to like a third of your HP. Not to mention, you're taking so much damage from the creeps. In fact, I actually do want to look at how much damage you took from the creeps, because I think it's going to be really, really interesting. This is where we were. So you were at this much, 540, and then you
Yeah.
constantly taking 11 damage, almost 10. Let's just say 10 damage. Let's count the instances of damage that you took from the creeps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, and it's actually more than 10, in fact. But you took 13 instances of damage from the creeps. That's more than about 130. That's more than about 140 damage that you took from the creeps. 140 damage is like a sixth of your HP that you took just from the creeps that you didn't need to take from the creeps. If you just had a stout shield, not even a poor man, just a stout shield, it would have been less than half. Well, it would have been half. But it matters
Yeah.
because now you're in the region of Sand King being able to kill you. One caustic and a stun and you're dead. So you're not aggroing at all, something I've noticed. That's something that you need to, you're 3.5k, you need to learn to aggro. That's very, very important, aggroing. Like you cannot play against a hard off lane like a Sand King or Axe without knowing how to aggro. Alright, that was well done, both of you. It's important Rubik didn't throw you off. Sorry, throw him away from your spin. So it went well. Now once again, it's Omni Knight. Omni Knight throws a heal. You're gonna take a lot of damage. In fact, it's what the hell is this Omni Knight so high level? All right, you're most likely dead anyway. Yeah. So again, you forgot about the heal. You forgot about what the enemies can do, right? So let's see if you could have ran away. So the first thing to notice, normally I would say quickly press tab and find out, or right click this guy and find out what his level is. But it's so easy; it's right there now. So you notice that he's level 3. He's the same level as you. He is. You should have checked his items as well to see if he has boots or not. But even if he doesn't have boots, the guy has the ability which was. Yeah, I think you would have ran away. Actually, I think you could have gotten away. You just stayed there too long. So yeah, what you should have seen is the guy is actually the same level as you, which means he most likely has level 2 in his heal, which means you're gonna take a shit ton of damage. Not only that, but you were missing a lot of HP anyway. So, all of these guys are the same level as you. So you have to understand when you are strong and when you're weak, and definitely against each of these people individually you're weak, let alone two of them together. Like even the Ricky's level 3. You're all the same level, despite them being being in a weird try. I don't even know what the Omni Knight. Where was the Omni Knight? What the hell was he?
I should have taken the stout shield. I'm getting too much damage.
Yeah, no, you should have taken Poor Man Shield in this case. A full PMS. So you're gonna take caustics now. There's no reason to take caustics, and I think this guy is actually. Wow, this is so bad. You should have had 2 points in caustic. You would have taken so much more damage. So yeah, definitely this guy is bad. Now what are you doing? So if the Stand King comes around and stun, okay, you're dead again. Yeah. Once again, Ricky issue. You keep forgetting the Ricky, yes. And you keep forgetting the Sand King. You can't just kill Sand King, especially not when you don't have full HP. Like at this point, they're all level 4 as well. They're like in a weird tri-lane situation, and they're still, staying with the levels, with your levels. So in the early game, always be looking towards the levels of the people. In the mid to late game, always look towards the items of the enemies, because levels are gonna matter a lot less in the mid to late game, as everybody's gonna have their crucial levels. Like look at that, this is what I mean. Like you're full HP. You're full HP, and you're gonna be at half HP. Sure, you did half HP worth of damage to Ricky as well, but that doesn't matter because there are 2 people here. If you were 2 people as well, it will be a different story. But look at this. You took half your HP worth of damage, and now you can't go into the lane. Alright, this is the first time you aggro, so that's good. That's something that you want to get into the habit of. You have to understand, as a carry, you're the weaker one in the lane. You're always going to be 90% of the time as a carry, you're going to be the weaker one in the lane, with the exception of like 1 or 2 heroes like Ursa or something. Yeah, so most likely the courier's dead. Yes, he's dead. Again, the Ricky effect. Like, Invis heroes, that's the best thing about Invis heroes in your bracket. You're not going to have sentries. So, Invis heroes are going to be, and you could die. No, that's fine. I should have used your clarity a bit earlier, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, spin. There we go. That's good. That's good. That's gonna be good. I don't want to stick around here because you are gonna be dead soon. The Omni messed up his heal. If the Omni hadn't messed up the heal, you would have died. And this guy is just baiting a heal right now, and you're gonna die if he has mana. Oh, you're dead. Again, like, so greedy. You're playing so greedily. You're not understanding that you are weak here. You are very, very, very weak here. And there are 3 people there. And on top of that, your allies were really low HP. I don't even know what Rubik was. Okay, Rubik was really low HP as well. So, your allies were so low HP, they ran away. they were all low HP as well, but they were all sticking around. So there were 3 people with 3 spells. Omni actually must have ran out of mana. That's why he didn't throw the heal, because the way you were playing, I don't think you checked Omni's mana, and the way you were playing, I was waiting for one heal and you would have died. And at this point, it's a level 3 heal. That's 230 pure damage at this point. You 100% would have died there around the trees, from the shadows, from the not shadow, from the smoke, fog of war. He would have thrown out a heal and you would have died. Let alone the Ricky effect. So you always want to assume, unless you see Ricky on the map, just assume Ricky's there. And the thing with Ricky Omni is so deadly because you're not even gonna know Ricky standing next to you, and the Omni throws a heal, and you're just gonna take 230 damage. And 230 damage at this point is like a fourth of your HP. So 4 times that happens, you're dead. Actually, 3 times that happens, and then Ricky's gonna right click you a couple of times. So I'm telling you constantly that you're weak. So what you should be doing essentially is playing very, 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 very defensively. Just aggro here. Why are you going there? Again, why did you go there? Unnecessary damage. It's all about taking this unnecessary damage. You just use your spin now. You just use your spin. That was your only defense. Now this guy could have stunned you, and this guy could have thrown out another heal in like 3 seconds. Oh, he was already up. You most likely, and if there was a Ricky there, I don't think there needed to be a Ricky there. You would have died. Okay, throw out an ulti. Too late. You're gonna die now. So greedy, man. You're so greedy. You're very, very greedy. Like, not only are you greedy, but you keep forgetting what the enemy. It's almost like you think you're playing against creeps or passive bots who are not going to use their spells. You forget he has a spell that can deal damage to you. You forget there's a Sand King who can deal damage to you. There didn't even need to be a Ricky. You would have died. Just from the Sand King. In fact, over here, when you used the spin, right here, when you use the spin, I know why you use the spin. You use the spin to dodge the caustic. You literally use the spin to dodge like 130 damage. Not worth it. Actually, it's not 130 damage. Yeah, it is 130 damage. Right, but because you use the spin, that means now these guys can go on you, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's quite lucky that your ally TP'd and they didn't go on you, but you would have, like, why didn't you ulti him?
He had healed, that's why I did not ulti him.
Yeah, if you ulti him, at least then when he heals, you don't take damage. Like, when you chase him, you shouldn't have chased him. That's the right play. You shouldn't have chased him. But if you were going to chase him, then at least you need to play properly. But yeah, definitely the right play was to not chase him, because you're already way far behind. You're 1-4 as of 9 minutes, not even 10 minutes yet. You're 1-4. You're like below the mid. Okay, the Ricky has more farm than you do now. Net worth, rather. The chances that you actually get this kill are so low. The guy is level 9. There's an entire creep wave, so you can't ulti him. It's like, and not to mention he has invis. Yeah, ulti now. Oh my days. Okay, Axe is dead. Yeah, not worth it. 3 people, three-man rotation for a single kill, and Axe died, and then you died as well. So, whereas I marginally like the fact that you went for a gank, because when Juggernaut turns level 6, you want to go for a gank, but it's the gank that you went for. It was a very, very low possibility that you would have gotten that kill safely. You're fighting underneath the tower, right? And
I
there's an
thought
entire.
that Wind Ranger will shackle, but she did
Even
not
if the
shackle.
Wind Ranger shackles, there is absolutely no guarantee that you're gonna get all of the. You have only 3 slashes at this point. This is not. Why are they all at top? Why are you staying at top? If they're all at top, why are you at top? Finally, you decide to go bot after dying 6 times. You should have gone bot after dying twice. In fact, you shouldn't have even died twice. Both the times that you died in the early game, were times where you shouldn't have died. You died because you were being super greedy, right? You didn't recognize that the enemy team is stronger. You didn't recognize that your lane is super hard, and you didn't really um, do anything about it. You can't be missing last hits like that, especially when you're so far behind. So this is really good. This game is really really good for learning because you said you don't die that often. I totally believe you because I don't think you would be up against such hard lineups, such hard lanes normally. So that's why you don't die. But it's these games where you are up against these hard matchups, where you are playing from behind, where it's really really important to to sort of know what to do, know how to deal with that situation. You what sort of movement should you have? Where should you be farming? Like you just use the spin. If there's any enemy close by, they know this is the time to go on you. All right, next item is going to be a headdress. Now, what's the thinking process behind that?
I thought that they were killing me so fast. I was really far behind in network, so I thought that by getting help, I will get some stats and I will be able to tank something.
Okay, it's tough because what you said makes sense. What you said makes sense, but the problem here is it's not applicable here because you're the one making mistakes. You didn't need to die any of those times, which means first of all you didn't need to make those defensive. See, once again, you spun there. You spun there, and that what Ricky got a blink. You spun there, and that means Sand King comes close. You can't just spin and run away. Ricky is there. You can't spin and run. You can't spin. You don't have that defensive capability. Not to mention now you're out of mana. You can't use your ult if you needed to, or if you wanted to. Okay, you got stick then. And there's it dead. Nice. Worked out. Worked out this time. Worked out because the enemy team came in one after another. I don't know, for some reason Sand King left the lane as well. You need to stop using your spin like that, man. Seriously, need to use it. Like you've killed the creep wave faster, but now you have to go back to base, all the way back to base. I don't agree with the helm because I said like the reason you've been dying is not because. Okay, another thing, like because you've been dying, if anything, you should have made a vanguard because as far as stats are concerned, you get 2 stats from helm. You get more stats from magic wand than you get from helm. This is like a 2,000 gold item, and you get half the stats that you get from magic wand. And not to mention, actually, magic wand actually gives you a burst of HP, like what 250 HP or something like that. Whereas this actually doesn't give you any burst of anything. So this is not an item that you make for stats or defensiveness. This is an item that you want to make for increase in farming. You want to make not that much increase in farming. Okay, I'll talk about increase in farming in a minute. This is an item you make for increase in farming, and mostly though for team fighting because it gives you that auras, the HP aura and the attack aura, which is really great for team fighting. So the reason why you made this item is completely different to why you wanted what you wanted. You wanted a HP stat item, which is in this case should have been Vanguard. I don't agree with that, by the way. I don't agree that you needed a HP survivability stat item. I think you needed just to go for a farming item. And in that case, I think the best item would have been Maelstrom again. Even Shadowblade again. Even Shadowblade. If you go for Shadowblade, that means that's a survivability item again. It's a survivability item, and it's an initiation item, and it's a chasing. It's fantastic in this particular situation. In fact, I think that was the item they should have gone for. But what this does is it allows you to team fight and farm. But how does it allow you to farm? It allows you to farm by dominating a creep and then stacking. But you're not doing that. In fact, what you can also do is you can dominate a attack speed creep and get like a little bit more AoE attack speed. So that it's even better for team fighting. But you're not using the biggest aspect of Helm of the Dominator, which is dominating a creep. It's literally called Helm of the Dominator. And you're about to. Oh, the reason why I paused over there when you were chasing PA is because there's no way PA is alone. You have to always understand. You always have to think people are not alone unless you can guarantee on the map you see where the people are. You have to understand people are not alone, right? So when you chase somebody, when you go on somebody, you have to think, what if somebody else comes around? What if somebody's already there? Can I and am I in danger? You know, this is something that you're not at all thinking. You have absolutely no map awareness. That's the issue here. Um, you need to learn map awareness. You need to be constantly thinking about where are the people. You saw PA was here. Where could the PA possibly have been? I think the PA is probably farming in this jungle. Let's have a quick look. Okay, she TP'd back to mid. So she's not around here, right? So Sand King, where's the Sand King? Sand King was over here in the trees. Most likely he TP'd out, but it's possible he didn't. But it doesn't matter because there's nothing you can do about it. But the point is that he's most likely not going to be at this tower. That means the only people that you can think about that could be at this tower is the PA because the PA was recently here and most likely she could have been here. So when you're pushing this tower, you have to think about, okay, the only person that could be at this tower is the PA, right? So are you safe to take this tower? Yeah, absolutely. PA can't kill you all by himself. And in fact, now you see the Sand King bot as well. So around this time, you saw the Riki in mid. You saw the Riki in mid. It's possible the Riki could have TP'd to the shrine, so there could be a Riki and PA here. Is that still dangerous? Not really. You can just TP out if you see two of them. So once again, you're free to keep going forward. In fact, Riki is there, and PA could have been there as well. So you don't really care. Oh no, no. See, this is again. So this comes back to what I said to you earlier that you need to learn the game. What you need to learn is not to be greedy, to remember what abilities the enemies have, and have map awareness. See, understand without knowing where the people are to be able to guess where the people are. Having map awareness is something that you can quite easily learn if you just concentrate on it. Just constantly be thinking about where was the last time you saw these people and where could they possibly be going. It's really easy when it comes to cores because they're mostly going towards the closest farm location. It's harder when it comes to supports and roamers and whatnot. But when it comes to roamers, it's not as hard because you have to remember like roamers are going to be going towards wherever they see enemies, right? So yeah, when you see a roamer and you see him disappear, look at the map, look at your own allies, look at which allies are showing on the map because the enemy roaming hero is most likely going towards your ally who is showing on the map. Right, it could be you, it could be somebody else. So you have to like 50-50 guess who is closer or who is most likely to be gone on. Yeah, but the Ricky's there, you're still far behind. By the way, it's not like you're winning at this point. Look at that, you're dead again. And this is what I mean. Like you're far behind. The enemy team is so farmed at this point. The enemy team has got like so much damage at this point, and you have absolutely nothing defensive. Like, look at your HP. I mean, it's 1500 HP, which is it's quite a fair bit of HP. But there's an invoker on the enemy team. There's a PA on the enemy. There's so much damage on the enemy team. You know, I think if we look at that again, I think you started spinning way too early. All right, so another mistake that you're making is you're thinking about spin as a damage spell. Your spin is not a damage spell, especially not at this point. Yes, your spin is damage till laning phase. I'll just say till laning phase, and maybe a little bit till after laning phase. I'll say 15 to 17 minutes. Till 15 to 17 minutes, it's a damage spell. At this point, this is not a damage spell. This is a BKB that you use. Not really a BKB. This is more of a dispel and magic damage
Defensive
prevention.
item.
Yeah, exactly. It's a defensive spell. So you just use your spin, and now you don't have spin. That means that when Sand King ults, that means when Invoker throws his meatball, you could have spun right here. That means if you spun right there, let's go back a little bit. Not to mention, you're literally without having any items, being far behind, being underfarmed, being under leveled. You are just spinning. Obviously, you spinning right, and you're thinking, "Wow, I'm so strong, I'm spinning," and you just ran right into three people without your allies coming behind you. You know, so if you started spinning here when you saw Invoker's Blast, for a few things. First of all, look at how far in you are. Like your allies are, you're like literally like 500 units ahead of both of your frontliners. Essentially, you're not a frontliner. You have to keep in mind you're a carry. You're playing a carry. You need to go in after either the axe or the LC go in. Right, so you needed to be behind these guys, but because you were spinning, which was the wrong decision, but that's besides the point. You went in way too deep. Second thing is, what you should have done is, you're missing HP. What you should have done is you should have thrown out a healing ward. That means that your team fight is going to go really fairly well because there's a healing ward down. All right, so you should have used the healing ward. The stick, you used the stick right here. The stick is something that you use at the very end. You use the stick as a bait sort of a tool or escape sort of a tool when like you've got very little HP missing, a right click is flying, it's mid air, and then boom, you use your stick and suddenly you got 200 HP more, and then you just casually run away, and the enemy person is just like, okay, I missed that kill opportunity because I didn't see the stick. But you use the stick already. That means later on when you're going to need that burst HP when the enemy team is closing in on you, you're not going to be able to use it. So what you should have done is you should have thrown out a healing ward and then gone in. You should have still had, like, look, you've got 1200 HP. If you started spinning right here, all of the damage that's incoming, you wouldn't have taken it. You literally took about 1,000 damage from spells that you didn't need to if you just used that spin. If you just saved that spin for the right occasion. That's a team wipe. Way too late
Ricky
on the.
was smoke. That Asha Ricky was in mid. Okay, sorry, my bad.
And you had ult the whole time. I just realized that. Okay, so you
Yeah,
had
it
ult
was
in
on
5
city.
seconds. Again, if
Full
you'd
come.
started spinning here, you would have had, like, if you'd had stick here, you would have had 6 extra stick charges as well. You could have started. I don't know. There's so much. There's so much that went on that you did wrong. Okay, so talk me through why you made SNY afterwards.
I thought it'll give me some tank, and that's all I needed because I was dying too fast,
And did it
quickly.
give you tankiness right now?
No,
No, it
I
didn't.
guess it was
Because
the
this is
wrong
not a
decision.
tankiness.
Should have gone Manta style.
Because this is not a tank item. This item is not for tankiness. What this item is for is, it's sort of like all stats, but mostly as like a mobility item. It's more looked towards like a mobility item, stats slash mobility item. But this is not an item that you look for survivability. If you want some survivability, you get Manta Style, because even though Manta Style gives you less flat HP, it does give you the ability to dispel certain spells, and it also gives you the ability to make illusions of yourself, which will just make it difficult for the enemy team to target the right person, and you can pretty much run away and stuff like that. Um, Wait, who has it? Silence? Seriously? Amazing.
Orchid PA. New meta. What a joke.